It started as a Snapchat, and then they met in a bar. She fell in love deeply with the guy, and after 3 months they ended up in Italy because he was promising lots of things to her. As soon as they arrived in Italy, in the house of the sister of the guy, she was raped from 6 guys that were present in the apartment. So you can imagine. Every day she was having the experience in the street, but at the same time the experience in the apartment as well, with different guys. Every day she gave the money to the tutors, but some of them she hide into the flash water of the in the toilet. It's young, 15 to 16 years old. One of the client was a very sensitive guy. She asked to call one of her friends here in Albania. She called and told that she was in the street, and then the girl from the Albania put in contact with the police, and the police with the Italian police. And then it started the investigation, and in one day she was kept from the police there and then repatriated here in Albania, and she took the money as well. She was let's say a story with a happy end, but there are other stories where the girls are died into the street because of the exploitation, because of the inserting drugs, because they tended to report and they were killed. They are, monitored in the street from the perpetrators in every moment, telling that, oh, we are killing you if you go to the police, we are going to kill you, the relatives, mother, father, and so on. So it have to be lots of, very smart in order to find ways for going and report to the police. They need money in order to follow, to follow the school or the universities. So they continue into this course, like being prostitution or even in a forced labor. Internal trafficking is more sophisticated. It's very, very sophisticated because it starts as a job and end up as a trafficking. So they use it, the small kids, like 6, 5, 7 years old. They are giving some money in the very beginning, and then next time they are telling, okay, we are going to give you more money if you deliver, the drugs. And then they use them even to try them to use the drug, to be drug users. And it's impossible to get out of the network. We have had cases of children that were involved in high crimes, serious crimes, for thief and for killing people. So because they know the kids cannot, be punished from the law, so they use the kids as well. It's like, there are the drug dealers or the drug users that are, using the kids as well. It's a community of Roma Egyptian that they are using their kids, or selling their kids into each other communities. Or there are the ones that are using girls through the forced marriages or promised marriages and lovely stories. No, no. Who wants to go into the trafficking? Who wants to experience a life like that? Nobody, because they are kids, they have dreams. And sometimes even through the internet, they are recruiting the girls. They invite them to put the photos into the blogs or in the Facebook, or this is social medias, in order to involve them in blogs or sites that are very camouflating, and then after that are used for the pornography and so on. So as soon as you enter there, they can blackmail you and tell that I'm going to show to everybody if you go and report to the police. As soon as they put their photos and compromise their body as well, so they cannot go back. So it's difficult because we have lots of cases that enter into these sites of pornography and so on, through through Facebook, through chatting with the girls. So uh, there have been lots of awareness activity, especially for the safe internet, with parents and teachers and kids in the schools, in order to make them alert about this kind of recruiting, we call it. As soon as they try to report the trafficking, they are under the security of the state and social services. If they decide to come back to the country, to the country of origin, both countries are cooperating for repatriating them. So they ask the girl where she wants to go back into the family of origin, or she can be in a shelters like us. As soon as it's defined as victim of trafficking, so she's into the program, we call it, and we offer the whole assistance in order to rehabilitate first, full accommodation, food and clothes and legal assistance, health assistance. We are enrolling them to school, offering them school books and everything that they need in order to make a real life, like in a family. And after that, it might take 1, 2, 3 years for her rehabilitation, psychosocial, professional, physical, and so on. Then we start the reintegration process. The reintegration might be independently, so she can live in independently way in the city, and we orient her and monitor her, put her in apartment, we pay the rent and so on. Or we put together 2 or 3 girls in the apartment, we call high autonomy apartment. So we find them a very decent job, and people that we know where to orient them. As soon as they find a job, they feel more, they are more strong inside. So because they have the money and can work and don't want to go back to the stories, and they are very alert now because they had the lesson. But there are other girls, or minors as well, that can end up into really trafficking because they are more vulnerable. They don't have the support of the family of origin, or they think that what they want to do is just the streets. So they think they don't have the underestimation for themselves. So we have to work lots with, especially on the psychosocial sides. So we have in the shelter a staff of 8 members that are social workers, psychologists, nurses, lawyers, managers, teachers, in order to offer all the services that they need. In Albania, there is a national coalition of anti-trafficking shelters. There are 3 shelters that belong to the non-profit organization that is another vision in Elbasan. Vatra, it's called Psychosocial Assistance Center in Valona, or in south of Albania. Different and Equal in Tirana, and then is the National Reception Center that belongs to the government, and that is in Tirana as well, where the most risky cases are going there. The Albanian government is supporting us as organization, so with money for food for kids, and a part of that is insured from the outside donors, from donors like European Commission, like donors in Italy, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Italy, the US Embassy is a great supporter for us, and many other embassies here that are very sensitive towards this phenomena. So we explain kids and students and pupils in the schools what is trafficking first. We show them videos, not just to scare them, but to show them the reality, what happens, especially what happens with the internet. And we have cooperated with the police. So police is coming with us in every classes. Yes. So it's good to see the wearing of police, together with you, because it's a friendly way, because sometimes the figure of police is scary for people. So we go on every class, and talk with the people and talk with the parents, talk with the teachers, with the psychologists of the schools on how they can protect kids or children as well, and especially girls and boys from the cases, where to report, who is the referral mechanism here in Albania, how can I report, because it's not everybody can do the reporting of trafficking, because everybody is telling that why I have to be involved in the trafficking, because somebody might watch me or somebody might can spy me, huh? Who wants to go into the police and report a case of trafficking that is a serious crime? It's very difficult to do that. So we show them, even they cannot, they don't want to go to the police, they can call us, and then we can enter into the job. So we have mobile units. Mobile units are a couple of social workers that are moving around the area here in the region, uh, and identifying where are the spots where the kids or minors or women or girls are exploited. As soon as they identify the cases, they go and cooperate with the police with a focal point and report the case. You know, they move it in all the spots where the street girls are working with the cars and deliver like flyers with information of the shelters or the services or where to report the trafficking. Or sometimes they offer even coffee during the nights and snacks for them. It's difficult because it's a risky job, but in this way they can, give the information and offer the girls the services. Before we didn't have experiences of punishment of tutors. Last year there were punished more than 10 perpetrators. Yes. So this is a situation that tells that the country is moving for good on this phenomena. But still we have lots of things to do.